Hey everybody, it's Pop-Up Thursday. John Hope Bryant, founder, chairman, and CEO of Operation Hope. And I've got a donate button here, thanks to Facebook, that you can donate to my favorite charity, Operation Hope, where I'm the first volunteer outside of my brother Rod McGrew. I'm the first donor, the first member, the first backer, the first believer. Well, no, God was the first believer. I followed him. Hey, Damian Wallace. So help me by supporting Operation Hope. So America's first nonprofit financial services network for the poor, the struggling class, the teetering class, folks with too much month at the end of their money, delivering the memo. I want one of the big hashtags in end of 2017 and beginning of 2018 to be get the memo. Did you get the memo? Hashtag did you get the memo? Hashtag the memo. Hashtag what is the memo? I want all these hashtags going into the end of this year about the memo so that we can change our minds. So this is about one word. This is a one-word series. My book comes out September this year. Pre-order it, by the way. The memo. I'm going to donate all proceeds through my John Hope Bryant live site to Operation Hope, to be clear about that. Any products you buy off the page goes to Operation Hope as well. Just good karma. So that's my word today, by the way. Hey, Larry signing in. And folks I see signing in. Hey, Christopher Brown. Peace and blessings back to you. Ron Lee from Annapolis. So karma is real. Hey, Nate. Whatever goes around comes around. And karma is real, and I've been telling you this. Now, people don't believe me. They want instant gratification. I tell you something, and you don't want to believe it because it's not happening right now. Hey, Jamie Nelson. You don't want to believe, hey, Esther Fife. You don't want to believe it because it's not happening right now. You say, well, you know, I want instant gratification. That's not the way the world works, ladies and gentlemen. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. You got to be resilient, and you got to have faith. And faith is what you do when you don't have all the facts. Faith is what you do when you don't have all the facts. What am I talking about? Without naming names, I said that there are people that are in leadership in this world that aren't very nice. And they are not saying very nice things. They aren't being very nice people. But I said last year that karma is real. It's going to bite you in the rear end. You better watch the toe you stepping on today, maybe connected to the rear end. You got to kiss tomorrow. I'm going to repeat that. Watch the toe you step on today. It may be connected to the rear end. You've got to kiss tomorrow. And whatever goes around comes around. Now, you can decide who I'm talking about, but I could be talking about 50 leaders in the world. Maybe you think of you know who I'm talking about, maybe not. But there are people who have been evil, have been fear-based, have been pointing fingers at other people and hurting other people and demeaning other people and disrespecting other people. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, Latrina. And they're getting their rear end whipped right now in the place that matters most to them, in the public theater, the place where they get all their energy, the place where they get all their acclaim. That same place has turned on them because if you go far enough to the North Pole, you end up south. And that's when we need our friends. That's when we need to pull up goodwill from people that we've got stored away. Because every winner one day will lose, and every leader one day will slip. And when you do, you need grace. You need people to hold you up, people who will back you up, people who will shore you up because you're a good person. Did you get that? They're going to do that not because you've got power, not because you've got authority, not because you've got the iron fist, not because you've got money. Because maybe you just lost all your money. They're going to do that because you are good people. Because at the end of the day, you were dignified and respectful and loving when you didn't have to be. You have stored up goodwill. And when you lack that, you're left all alone. You're left to wither and die all by yourself. In fact, some people are actually celebrating that you are actually in that situation not doing good. Now, you can think you know who I'm talking about. I'm not naming names. I could be talking about a range of people. Let me make this easy and go historical on you. First of all, let me tell you about my own life. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I make mistakes every day. A saint is a sinner that got up. A saint is a sinner Light got up. Thank you. Did you get the memo? Latrina, right. Exactly. That's why I want the hashtag. By the way, thank you for 28 million plus views in 14 months and 250,000 follows on this page in a year. We're going to get the follows up to a 500,000 in the next few months, and the views up to 50 million views. Tell all your friends to go to the library for this video series and find the challenge in your life and the video that addresses that challenge, and let them watch that once a week with you to retrain your brain, to solve your poverty from the neck up, to realize that life is 10% what life does to you and 90% how you choose to respond to it. Boom. What's your response going to be? Life is 10% what life does to you and 90% how you choose to respond to it. What's your response going to be? That's why I keep telling you, don't get angry, get even. This t-shirt I have here, Jamie tells me that he can tell me how to reverse the t-shirt so you can see it. I don't know how to do this. Anyway, it says, let's take this outside. Now you think that means a fight. No, it means let's go outside and climb a tree. Let's go outside and hike. It says, let's take this outside. It's about Dharma. It's about being cool. It's about nature. It's about chilling. It's about blowing off steam and not getting into a fight. So I keep telling you guys that I want you to not get angry. I want you to get even. That hurt people hurt people. So you think about people right now in the news right now who are just getting their rear end lit on fire because they have been painfully, brutally hurtful to countless people, and then had the nerve to attack the media. And I've always said, you never attack somebody who prints ink by the barrel. You never attack somebody who has ink by the barrel. You don't attack the media, because when they attack back, it's not going to be nothing nice. So you got to step over mess and not in it. Talk without being offensive. Listen without being defensive. And always leave even your adversary with their dignity. I'm going to repeat that. Then I'm going to come back to my story. Talk without being offensive. Please write this down. Listen without being defensive. And always leave even your adversary with their dignity, because if you don't do that, they're going to spend the rest of their life trying to make you miserable, because it becomes personal. You have de-dignified them, you have humiliated them, you have hurt them. Now they don't want just you to be right and you to be wrong. They want you to be hurt, right? And so when you start attacking people personally, karma is going to come back around. It has no choice, and it's going to destroy you and hurt you personally. So here's my point. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Have I screwed up this morning? But here's what I can say without question. Without question. I have never consciously hurt somebody ever in my life. That's what I can say without question. And with my hand to God, this is what a beautiful thing to be able to say in your life. I have never got up in the morning and said, I want to hurt this person. I want to damage this person. I want this person to fail in their life. No, even people who are trying to hurt me, I just leave them alone. Not my will, but thine will be done. I'm not going to try to do God's job. Let me not try to be in the God business. Let him do his job. Let me do mine. Let me spend my energy and my time focusing on moving forward, because it's hard to hit a moving target, right? Let me focus on moving forward, bobbing and weaving, and focusing all of my energy on my dreams, and let the haters hate, and let the turkeys and the buzzards migrate. But let me infiltrate success and aspiration and opportunity in my life with a laser-like focus, and let me have the winds of positive energy in the universe. I think that the energy is made for good. We learn that darkness is nothing but darkness has no definition except for light, and badness is failed goodness, and that punk called Lucifer, the devil, is a fallen angel, which means God gives the devil even permission to exist. The punk, that devil ain't nothing. If there weren't children watching, I'd say something else. The devil is a punk, he's a liar, he ain't nothing. And fear is his cousin. All of them can go jump off of a cliff as far as I'm concerned. They don't bother me one little bit. Don't bother me one little bit, because I'm aligned with the man. And the man is light and love and consciousness and joy, and he created everything on this universe. I'm standing with him. And that way, in that regard, when you got the power, you don't need to use it. So I already said I'm not perfect. So then what's my magic sauce? Intentions. my intentions are always good. So even when I screw up, I'm not a screw up. Even when I mess up, I'm not messed up. And even when I make a mistake, I'm not the mistake. That you can blame it on my head, not my heart. That I have no problem telling you when I messed up. I am truly apologetic. And sometimes I'm even sorry, but I meant you no harm. Even my enemies, I don't hate you. I love you even when you don't love me back, because that is more of a reflection on me than it is about you. Because if you don't love me, then you're just hurting yourself, because hurt people hurt people. I'm going to be full of love and light because that sets me free. You see how that rolls? So my whole life, I have never, ever done anything consciously to try to hurt somebody. And I believe that karma aids me. Because if you want to have a little grace, you better show a little mercy. This is from my brother, Reverend Warnock of Ebenezer Church, this quote. Mercy is when some rancid SOB does not get the rear end whipping that he so rightly deserves. And grace is when you and me, heathens and liars and sinners by accident, when you and me, trying the best we can but not deserving, when you and me get the grace we don't deserve. So I'm going to repeat this. That mercy is when some rancid SOB does not get the rear end whipping they so rightly deserve. And grace is when you and I get the blessing that we actually don't deserve. Don't you want to have a little grace in your life? Of course you do. Then you better show a little mercy. Because a saint is a sinner that got up. Because nobody's perfect. Okay, so I've told my office, never do anything you don't want to see on the front page of the New York Times in 5 years. Don't put me in a limousine, even by accident. Intentions matter, right? And actions matter, but let's not help folks who want to do you harm. Let's not help them screw us up. Thank you, my civil rights judge, by the way, Janae Roscoe. Let's not help them help us screw us up. So in order to hurt me, I got to give you the gun. I gotta put ammunition in it. I gotta cock it. I gotta put it in your hand, point it back toward me, and then wait for you to shoot. I'm not going out like that. Let me tell you what, there's some people in elective office right now who have cocked the gun, loaded it, pointed it at themselves, and are daring somebody to shoot them, and they will get shot. Because it's simple math. Because karma is real. Let me tell you, so I try to live my life with good karma. And I believe that 75% of all disease is dis-ease. Now, is there disease that's hereditary? Yes. That you can be just standing here doing nothing and get a disease because it's hereditary. But a lot of this is bad energy because we're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Your body is 70-80% water. And when you're flowing all that negative energy through your life and you're getting hot all the time, you're getting angry and hot, your temperature is rising, you're prematurely aging, you're cooking your organs, you are damaging your soul, you are being filled with darkness. The question is, the light in the distance, is it lighting a candle or cursing in the darkness? And whether you believe it, whether you believe you can't, or whether you believe you can, you're absolutely right. Am I giving you too much? Am I loading you down too much? Am I pouring too much into you tonight on this one word called karma? Let me know. I'll slow down. I'll stop. Are we good? Okay, looks like we're good. So, somebody already donated to Operation Hope. Thank you very much. Esther says, preach, okay? So karma is real, but you don't do karma for somebody else. As they say in South Africa, Ubuntu, I am me because you are you. Ubuntu. By the way, thank you, Desmond Tutu, for endorsing my new book. Yay! I love that man, South Africa. Ubuntu, I am me because you are you. So whatever goes around, comes around. This is as old as the Bible, right? Whatever goes around, comes around, and the universe has a perfect accounting system, right? So you don't have to be perfect. There is no perfect. But you have to at least get up in the morning wishing the universe well. If you want somebody to wish you well, you got to wish the universe well. And we can disagree without being disagreeable. But there are punks in this world. There truly are punks in this world who just are only concerned about themselves. There's so much of a narcissist that they make narcissists look bad. They have so much of a character disorder. They make people with a character disorder look bad by being associated with them. Let me tell you about a punk. His name was Hitler. And this punk, who grew up with Jewish friends, and no Jewish person did him bad at all, he grew up and his daddy didn't love him and beat his rear end. And his mother gave him a little love, but not really much. But that was the only person he saw any love from. And this guy, his mother was dying of cancer, and the doctor trying to save his mother was a Jewish doctor. And back then, cancer treatments were very painful. So he wrongly assumed that this doctor was hurting his mother. And so he then saw his mother dying, he thought, at the hands of a Jewish doctor, and decided now he hated Jews. Crazy, nutty. And this fool who was genius, who created the Autobahn, who was a genius, I'm not going to deny his genius. God gave you free will. You can decide whether you're going to be a saint or the devil. You can decide that, because God, that's my next book, probably, Playing God. But God gave you free will. He put us on this earth to operate any way we see fit. So you can light a candle, curse the darkness. It's your choice. So God gave him genius, but he used it for the wrong ends. Went to war, hated on Jews, killed 6 million people on a bad idea. Talking about he was the chosen people and the chosen race, and now he's in the dustbin of history. And he died humiliated in a little bunker, giving himself supposedly a cyanide pill. And taking himself out like a punk. Didn't want to be arrested, didn't want to meet his maker, didn't want to deal with his so-called adversaries, didn't have enough strength to look somebody straight in the eye and say what he said when he had tanks around him. No, he couldn't deal with folks coming at him once he was defeated, so the punk took himself out, and now history has him as an example of what not to do. And he literally is on the dustbin of history. And by the way, not just him, Mussolini, Stalin, all these folks in their day, for their moment, had absolute power. But where are they now? Osama bin Laden, in the moment, he's talking all this mess. Where is he now? Okay? Dead and on the dustbin of history. Saddam Hussein. Where is he at now? I can go on and on and on. This dude in Syria that's gassing his own people, his life's not going to end well. I guarantee you. Anybody who is living their life with abusing other people, well, you have your little moment. You can buy your little car, buy your little mansion, but you can't relax. Because somebody told me, well, if you say justice is always fair, then what about the guy who is gotten off his 5 murder charges? He's a gangster, John. He's got all these women around him. He's got this beautiful car. He's got this beautiful house. And he gets off all these accusations of murder and mayhem. I said, that dude is not free. If I do a crime, I go to prison. I admit my crime. I go to prison. I do my service. I'm out. Then I can go get my 700 credit score back. I can go start a business like Malcolm X. And I can redeem myself. Malcolm X, because he redeemed himself, is actually regarded and heralded in the world. Even though he started as a sinner, he ended up as a saint. See how that works? Because his energy, when he passed, was in the right place. But this guy I'm talking about, who's this so-called success story, this thug, this gangster that I was talking about, he can't relax. He can't sit on the beach and relax and enjoy his money, because he's always looking over his shoulder. He's always wondering whether the cousin or the daughter or the son of the person he murdered or the son of the person he raped or the person that he took out, whether that's somebody who's walking past him right now that he doesn't know about. He can't relax. He's in a permanent prison for the rest of his life. He will die worrying, paranoid, stressed out, and will not be able to enjoy any of his ill-gotten gains. None of it. He's done. He's in a permanent prison. I'd much rather go to a physical prison, pay my debt to society, redeem myself, and get the heck out and go back to my life, knowing that I'm clean, I'm clear, right? I've done I paid my debt. But these folks who do wrong to others can never relax. So I'm trying to give you a pathway forward where you can live your life right. You pay your taxes. You get your credit score where it's supposed to be. You get your self-esteem right. You're not hating on nobody, even though they're hating on you. Even though they're discriminating against you. They play hate you. What did Reverend Murray tell me is not what people call you. It's what you answer to that's important. And never, ever, ever answer out of your name. And then I added, to argue with a fool proves there are two. So, thank you for donating. 3 people just donated to Operation Hope. Fantastic. To argue with a fool proves there are 2 fools, right? By the way, I do these speeches. People pay me like $25,000 to give these speeches, And I'm doing it to you for free. All I'm asking you to do is donate to my favorite charity. That's all I'm asking you to do. Do it now, do it later, volunteer. By the way, we got something special coming to you guys on these local clubs for Operation Hope. Local civil rights clubs. So those who are most active on my page, Yolanda Frazier being at the top of the list, and my man Harris, who's the truck driver, and a few others, Dina Knox and a few others, those who are really active on the page will be invited to lead. Jamie Nelson's organizing this, a civil rights club in your local community. That's coming. It's coming next week, so stay tuned for that. And it's going to be fantastic. This civil rights movement is going to go from the streets to the suites. And we're coming to a neighborhood just where you live. Okay, back to the story. I really want to focus on this one word today, karma, because this is a form of wealth. This is a form of wealth, because wealth is energy. And I've already told you that disease is oftentimes dis-ease. I've already told you whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't. You're right. I've already told you that God made you great. You can decide whether you're going to light a candle or curse the darkness. I've already told you that God made you a genius. You come in this world and be Dr. King, Andrew Young, Dr. Dorothy Height, Mother Teresa, or be Osama bin Laden, or be Hitler. That's your choice. Which way are you going to flow? And all these folks, you name somebody who's angry, and I'll tell you how they're going to end up. Or I'll tell you how they've already ended up. All these folks who are angry at white people and had black power movements, all the leaders of that, even though they had a right to be angry. I'm not saying you don't have a right. I'm saying it's not healthy. And I'm saying that you cannot do to others what they did to you. I'm talking about self-preservation. They died of hypertension. They died of heart attacks. They died of stress. All of them dropped dead, 40s, 50s, 60s. All the leaders of that movement, Stokely Carmichael, all of them, because it's unhealthy to harbor that kind of hate, even when you have a right to do it. You've got no choice but love. You've got no choice. No rational choice but love. It frees you. It surrenders you. I don't stress about nothing. I don't worry about nothing. I say my famous prayer is not my will but God's will be done. I wake up every day knowing you cannot like me, but I'm not gonna give you a reason to, because I'm gonna look at you and tell you I love you, even if I know you plain hate me and straight up to my face, because that is your problem, not mine. Don't join the haters. Don't join the failures, and don't promote bad and produce bad karma in your life, because whatever goes around comes around. Now, I'm going to tell you last story about a Roman leader. I want you to think about leaders of this day. There are Roman leaders who were absolute brutes. They were iron hands. They were brutal leaders. They were obnoxious. They raped. They pillaged. Everybody was afraid of them for a moment. They wore these weird red robes in Rome, and they had absolute power. For a minute, the world was like, "What's wrong with us, God? Why are you penalizing us? This man seems to have everything." But it only lasted for a minute, because they slipped on a banana. Okay, every leader will slip on a banana, and because they had made the senators kiss their ring. And they talked about the senators' mamas and talked about the senators' wives, and they made the senators bow down to them, and they humiliated the senators. This Roman ruler made even the senators bow down to them, and the senators were just waiting for a moment for that person to slip. And when they slipped, and when the aides of the Roman leader came around to the senators saying, "We now need your support for our leader," the senator said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, slow your roll, Turbo. That's not our leader. That's your leader. Because he don't care about nobody but himself. I'm not going to wish him any harm. Let the chips fall where they may." And he was guillotined 6 months later. Don't trust me. Go do your history on Rome. We don't guillotine people anymore. But folks can either walk off the stage or be escorted off the stage when the world is through with you. You go far enough to the North Pole, you will end up south. You go far enough to the North Pole, I guarantee you, you're going to end up south. Let me answer a couple questions. By the way, so some of you might say, "Well, wait a minute, some of our great leaders have also passed away." Yeah, but Jesus Christ is bigger today than when he was dead. He is more popular. He's bigger today. So in other words, he is bigger. You're giving death too much credit, right? We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. What did Dr. King say? If you don't know what you're willing to die for, you aren't fit to live. I'm not afraid of death. Okay? I want to live a long life, as Dr. King said, but I'm not afraid of death, because one thing you don't know how long you're going to live, but you damn sure know you're going to die. So what's the mystery, right? So make peace with your death and live your life. Don't focus on your death, and don't focus on living a long life. Focus on living a good life. Focus on living a life with purpose. Focus on getting, Dr. King put as much as he could in those 39 years. He is larger today than he ever was when he was alive. And you can go down the list. Mother Teresa, all these heroes and sheroes and leaders who lived their life as something larger and more important than themselves, and their reputation is intact. Their legacy is in place. And you raising your children, are you doing a good job in your block club? Are you doing a good job at your school board? Are you doing a good job with your kids? Are you doing a good job with your life? Are you just opening a door? When you open a door for somebody else and you see that senior citizen come after you, doesn't that make you feel good? Of course it does, right? Nobility makes you feel good in the place that matters most, your soul. All right, I'm going to take a few questions and I'm going to wrap this up, because you don't want to be the old guy in the club. Before you kick me out, I'm going to leave. All right, let me take a few questions here. Let me see here. A lot of folks are donating. Thank you very much. Robert Blount, hate is unhealthy. God, good to hear another brother celebrate this. Fantastic. Let me see if I can get some questions in real time here from the comment section. All right. Let me see here. I'm not sure that my system's going to allow me to do this. I'm trying to make sure I answer some of these questions for you. While I'm on here live, I will come back to you, post this and answer some questions. Okay, here we go. Ready for teaching 700 credit score classes. Thank you for never giving up. Is that the right deal here? Hold on a minute. Okay. So Jamie's laughing on my team. He's like, John can't do this by myself. He needs my help. That may be true, Jamie. So I can't seem to answer the questions on my iPad. Let me see if I can look at this here. Okay. If you have a question for me, load it up and I will try to answer it. All right, so maybe God doesn't want me to answer questions tonight. Maybe he just want me to deliver this message and drop the mic. So I'll answer questions when I'm offline. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this has inspired you tonight to give you a reason to be better. That you have seen that even though it's taken a long time sometimes for the whatever comes around thing to work, sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years to happen, but it always happens. Good always triumphs over evil, always. You have a date when you might visit Milwaukee, Marvin Bell. I'm not scheduled for Milwaukee yet, Marvin, but I go there at least once a year. But keep track here, because when all my events, openings of Hope Inside locations, all my speaking engagements will be posted at John Hope Bryant Live, and I curate this page myself. Esther 5, Chairman, will you consider doing a book tour for? Let me see here. A book tour for I don't know why I'm not being able to scroll the questions today. I think she's asking me about whether to do a book tour in her area. The answer is yes. Jahel, Mr. Bryant, your bracelet should be getting to you. So you sent me some bracelets. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I can't see all of the questions that are coming up. I'm gonna have to answer them in detail a little later. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that you're feeling like there is justice in the world, and feeling like there is that this world does make some sense, and that God's on the throne. Where can I find your books? Daniel Wilson. You can find it at Amazon is easiest, but you can go to my page at John Hope Bryant Live and go to OperationHope.org, where I donate the proceeds to Operation Hope. You go to JohnHopeBryant.com. There's Banking on Our Future, my first book, published by the same publisher as Dr. King, on financial literacy for children and their families. Love Leadership, my second book. How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, my third book. Those are both bestsellers. And then The Memo comes out in September. All right, love you guys. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed tonight, and I'll answer the questions offline. Wishing you hope. Unbought, unbossed, unbiased, coming to you straight and no chaser from the Civil Rights Movement. Let's make this movement real. And remember, we're making an announcement next week. for local civil rights clubs. So if you're an active engager on this platform, Jamie Nelson and my team will be looking for those most active. And one of the features of civil rights clubs is that when you reach certain benchmarks, and there'll be a way for you to make money, by the way, and a revenue stream from these clubs having nothing to do with operation. We're not going to make any money. I'm not going to make any money. We're going to give it away as free software. But you'll be able to be trained in a master class in the memo, and that will allow you to then train folks in your neighborhood and either do it for free or earn revenue, up to you. But we're going to give you these technologies, and I'm going to come to the most popular civil rights clubs in person and take you to dinner. Take your whole group to dinner and go Facebook Live. All right, more coming. A lot of surprises. This movement's real. Tell a friend. I'm out. Love and light.